the night, the city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on. Open your eyes and see the people chanting.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to match day 10 of the RSC season. Tonight, we have two matchups coming your way, with a contender matchup and a prospect matchup. I am Taco. Producing this is Russ, and joining me on the casting desk is Bas Radala. How are you doing tonight?
Brother, I'm having a great night. Just helped the team warm up for the stream, so it's going to be real interesting to see how they play. But we have a lot of incredible RC action ahead of us tonight, so I'm really ecstatic all around, especially for our viewers tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a good one. As we're going to focus in on our first matchup in contender between Fingus No Legs of Dwarfhaven and Eladrin of D20. And it's been a pretty successful season so far for both of these teams, 24-12 for Fingus No Legs and 23-13 for Eladrin. So pretty uh, similar across the board on that, but the goals for Fingus No Legs have a lot more goals for. That is not producing so many more wins, but we'll see if that is a difference tonight between the two teams.
Well, and especially as we get further into the season, right? Every match really matters. These two teams are vying for some level of playoff contention. And I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. Like as much as we want to sit here and say like, oh, like regular season doesn't matter, we're at the point where it does. This is seeding placement. This is two teams vying to see how high up they can be before they enter the playoffs and have potentially an easier run at a chip. But as we kind of pivot a little bit into player stats, we can really kind of hone in on who we're looking for tonight. Taco, I guess, kind of play a little bit of hot potato here. Who are you looking for from Dwarfhaven here?
Ooh, to me, it looks like ShiftDrink is their goal scorer by far. Like he has by far the most goals on the team and the most shots on the team. So he is going to be the offensive engine. Uh, he has a or he was a former Chally player, I believe, a season or two ago. So definitely going to be a great player in the or in the contender tier. Make that. So that will be interesting to watch. ShiftDrink, I think, will be the one to watch, at least on the offensive end for Dwarfhaven.
I definitely think you're right, but also on the offensive end, you've got NerdyGamer and ShiftDrink both sitting with 19 assists together. Absurd team play to be found here in Tendy, but one thing to really focus in on, NerdyGamer, 38 demos. For a Tendy player, that is traditionally a pretty high number. You might see them hyperextend. It might be paying off for the wins. We'll see what that looks like against D20's defense and potentially eliminating their rotational bases. Speaking of D20, though, we'll go ahead and pivot over and look at a little bit of D20 stats here. Uh, Fresh reminder, they are 23 and 13, and for good reason. 105 shots from Polly. Now, I have played against Polly. Polly is an exceptionally mechanical player out of Tendy. They like to play off the ground a lot, and I wonder how well that's going to translate in terms of potentially eliminating the demos that come from the other team.
Yeah, and speaking of demos, Shadows has 50 demos, which is a large number. So I'm going to be looking to play physical, at least the most physical of these two teams. And yeah, Pauly has the most shots of either team. So going to be probably sitting in position, either third or second, looking to make or come into the rotation, make plays happen when the ball comes their way. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. That is the whole season stats. But again, these are two good teams. When you have two good teams clashing against each other, sometimes different players pop off in different ways.
For sure, and we'll see which team rises to the occasion. Playing on stream always adds jitters. It adds a little bit of that extra zest to your game, makes you think a little bit longer, makes you play a little bit faster, and it might put you out of your comfort zone. But I'm going to be honest, Taco, we could sit here all night. We could talk about these two teams and why they're going to win and who's going to play well. But I think it's about that time of night where we get into some solid RSC action.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to get going. I'll tell the players they are allowed to join, and will be underway between Fingus No Legs and Eladrin for the first game of this contender matchup.
5 minutes on the clock here, splitting in very favorable position for Fingus No Legs. Difficult spot here, Iris getting a pop high offside wall. It's a one-on-one opportunity off the corner, looking for it to go back center, but ShiftDrink is able to take a bit of a doink. Mortal Frenzy, a player who's seen the least amount of time for the pitch, is starting tonight. But a great dive, no less, by Fingus No Legs to prevent an early offensive opportunity.
Yeah, good start here. Fingus No Legs tried to find a little bit of a pass to a teammate, but there was no teammate available. Mortal Frenzy diving in as last man and will be rewarded for it as the defense scrambled for a ball that was just kind of floating in the middle of the field. NerdyGamer gets an awkward clearance and a dive can't get there in time. Mortal Frenzy will open up the lead for Eladrin.
And that's the difficult spot a lot of these Tendy players are going to have to learn pretty quickly. It may seem opportune to dive in and make the touch, but sometimes you need to let it go. Oh my goodness, Mortal Frenzy almost able to get a double off the post here. Bounces favorably for Fingus No Legs, but that's going to be popped up high. NerdyGamer having to get a bit of an outlet touch. What I was trying to say though, Taco, it's normal for players to want to dive in and make the touch. The most difficult concept in Rocket League is when to leave it, when to say you're awkward and back off, and unfortunately that's what punished them in that first goal.
Absolutely. Teams and players really don't want to ever sit still, and sometimes you do need to just sit still and let the ball come to you as Eladrin continue to pile on the pressure. This is a good pass. Mortal Frenzy has been looking dangerous in front of the net, almost getting a second goal there. Pauly's going to come into the play, gets the touch, gets the boost, trying to pass it off the ceiling. NerdyGamer can't get there in time, and Mortal Frenzy will slot that one. Beautiful pass, great boost grab off the ceiling. Mortal Frenzy up so early, and a slot to give them a 2-goal lead.
So early, and it's such great trust in one another. The first man, Polly, able to take an incredible touch off ceiling to drop it just outside the goalie box and in the most opportune spot for Eladrin to really follow through and get a quick goal. Iris pushing in a pitch. ShiftDrink has control, looking for a bit of an offensive opportunity themselves, but it's going to be shoved entirely across from Polly. Sin trying to get a little bit of a keep here, but it's going to be passed over to Shift. Shift can't put it on target, and Taco. 3:08 to be played, and if you're Fingus No Legs, you got to be a little nervous already.
Yeah, definitely. It's looking really good and really controlled. They're Fingus No Legs only have one shot so far. They're losing the boost battle. They're losing the midfield control. Look at this space for Mortal Frenzy, who's beginning to cook. This one might just roll in. It's off the post. Iris will follow it up, and Eladrin are firing on all cylinders.
Brother, that is the aggression you love to see out of a team that's clicking on all 4 cylinders. Iris has the read, wants to play up, wants to play aggressive, and they get the quick touch. Beautiful, beautiful play to put them up 3-0. Mortal splits the 50. That's going to roll sidewall a little bit here. Sin trying to get it back to ShiftDrink. The shot's on! Oh my! ShiftDrink slotting it to the left with an incredible redirect.
We brought up ShiftDrink's goal scoring, and something out of nothing pretty much, as Fingus really had nothing going this entire game, but a pass infield and a laser to the back of the net will give them a little bit of a hope that they can come back into this potentially. Seneca gets immediately challenged by Iris. Iris continuing to try and make plays on the ball. Mortal Frenzy gets the touch, gets the boost, and I love these boost steals from Eladrin, who are continuing to just pin Fingus No Legs back in their own end, not let them get comfortable and get out of defense, because they just don't have the resources to do so. Polly plays it, a demo comes in, and it just feels for Fingus No Legs like, how do they get out of defense? They're getting hunted for demos, they're getting boost stolen. It's just awkward, and somehow they have to get out. It's not looking likely, but luckily there's no one back. They might have overextended. No, Iris will shut it down.
You're definitely not wrong. Eladrin has been collecting boost, getting bumps, and just applying a limitless amount of pressure. A bit of a gap there for the rotational sense, but for a Tendy team, not playing bad whatsoever. ShiftDrink has to stall, keep it in the same zip code. Nerdy trying to drop it back down for ShiftDrink. That's going to be pushed across. Sin tries to keep it alive. Going back into the corner. Popped up high. ShiftDrink with a quick elevation. It's going to be off backboard. We have an offensive shot. No! Mortal Frenzy with a clear all the way to the midfield.
Good clear. That one's popped up in the air. Polly's shot is crossbar down. And Eladrin's good first game continues to roll. ShiftDrink, an awkward pop. It really could have been either of the two Eladrin players who were up in the air who could have shot it, but Polly elects to take it themselves and slot it under the crossbar to give Eladrin a 4-1 lead.
A turn. Iris has control, collects the ball. Not a lot of beans, takes the half volley, gets it. No, can't get it over Cinecat. So Cine able to get it popped up high. Mortal Frenzy with a quick dive. That's going to be a little bit wide. Mortal looking to pad their stats a little bit. They've already got 3 shots on the board. Iris with a quick dunk. Oh my goodness. 5-1 Eladrin. Oh my goodness.
They're so fast and they go so high in the air. I'm not used to contender teams that are up this early and are meeting the ball over the net, over the backboard. They are just ready for everything that is coming into the middle of the field. Polly is going to try for an air dribble, gets it over one. Nerdy has to save it away. Seneca sends it, but again, they're finding each other. That's an awkward touch, though. This might be punished. Iris will send it to the corner even when it looks awkward. They're able to save it away.
Well, and that's something we talked about early. Oh my goodness! Iris looking like Curry from way downtown puts goal number 6 on the board. One thing I was going to say about this Tendy team. Hey, Tendy, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to miss touches. You're going to get bad placement. But you saw Polly turns, looking for the extra touch, opts not to play the low boost play, opts to look for a teammate. That kind of thought process is what really sets these teams into who's going to potentially make a championship run and who is going to find themselves in an early playoff exit.
Yeah, this is looking really good
Brother.
for Eladrin. This might be in. No, it's off. Iris to follow. That won't go in. Polly trying to delay. This won't matter. This one, maybe just for a little bit of style points. It's off the post. They still want to keep it up. They're not going to let this game die. They just want to continue this 5-goal lead forever. Eventually, it will hit the ground, and Eladrin take a dominant game 1.
Akko, one thing I want to immediately jump into. 17 shots for Eladrin. I mean, that is concerning. If you're a team that wants to compete, you can't give up the midfield. Fingus No Legs is going to have to find a way to challenge earlier. And we might actually be seeing a rotational swap here, a bit of a substitution. But Taco, 17 shots, brother.
That is insane. Yeah, that is not a recipe for success if you are on Fingus no legs, because it's going to be a rough game as seandfeeney is going to come on to replace Seneca. Um, and looking at the games beforehand, Seneca had only played 6 in this season, so maybe going back to a starting lineup potentially. We'll see if that affects the way this series goes, because the way that game 1 went, there is not going to be anyone stopping Eladrin if they can continue like that.
Well, and especially one player to talk about. We talked about Polly being so incredible in the offensive zone, but their assists 4 through game 1 has really set themselves up for a great spot here. Polly taking control, goes, elevates over 1, dropping it back down. It's a little bit wide, but Mortal's gonna follow. What a bang! Oh my!
I feel like I've seen that one before. Polly, oh my goodness, off the ceiling pass to Mortal, who's just gonna bang it into the net. It feels like Polly gets control on that sidewall, makes a defender miss almost every time, gets a pass out to one of the 2 teammates in the center, and it's just over for Fingus no legs. They cannot stop it right now, as Eladrin just want to continue to click and go for goals. Polly's gonna have to leave this one though. He's ran out of boost, and ShiftDrink plays it. NerdyGamer is gonna leave the ball, rotate back, and here we might be seeing a little bit of pressure from Fingus no legs. They're starting to assert themselves. ShiftDrink couldn't find it. NerdyGamer gets challenged by Polly, and it's gonna bounce in the end, but maybe a little bit of something to hang their hat on and try and get back in this game. Here comes ShiftDrink, can't get the pass into the center. It's shut down, and Mortal Frenzy misses the boost, so that might not make this attack go as quick as they want. Instead, it's sent to the corner and finally shut down.
Nerdy putting it over to no man's land. Mortal Frenzy has control, gets the first, looking for the second, pops it over 1, looking for a pass back center. Nerdy able to quickly elevate and get the touch, is able to prevent that from becoming a clip for sure. A little bit of a miscommunication. 2 players double committing here. Mortal trying to play control. seandfeeney pushing it all the way across the pitch. And we definitely saw it. We saw a little bit of life there. Fingus no legs finally. No shots on the board, but they definitely were getting some pressure applied. And we love to see that. If you love to see good RSC Rocket League, you love to see 2 teams really starting to just sling it back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not about the shots that they're not really putting on the board. They're at least stopping Eladrin from just doing whatever they want with the ball. They're allowing themselves to give them a chance in this game. ShiftDrink misses the boost grab, and instead it goes to Iris. That could be brutal. Instead, the demo is missed by Iris. Polly, good challenge, off the wall again, trying to look for his own shot. Instead, it goes out to Mortal Frenzy. Mortal doesn't have any boost, so it's gonna pop in the air. Polly trying to find the back of the net instead. Sent away, but it feels like it's just going the same rotation. Mortal almost the dunk directly into the net. Double commit from Fingus no legs. They're beginning to panic. Maybe some of the game 1 nerves coming back into play as Eladrin are firing again. Mortal Frenzy hunting for a demo. Polly misses the ball. 1-on-1. NerdyGamer's last back avoids the bump and does brilliantly. This one's gonna waterfall down. Iris can't get the read.
Man, that was a dangerous spot. Nerdy, though, having patience of absolute steel, not wanting to dive in and overcommit, and is able to make a great save to keep their team in this game. Polly putting it over to the sidewall. Off sidewall with 60. Gonna drop it straight down. Mortal underneath. Splits to 50. That's gonna go over Nerdy. It's going back center. Polly with the shot, but it's gonna be pushed away. seandfeeney able to take control and possibly get their own shot opportunity going.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. Maybe a little bit of pressure coming in. ShiftDrink can't force it home. Almost an unlucky own goal. A force through. Iris waiting on the back wall for something to come his way. Instead, sent to the corner. Polly As we've seen before, dangerous when he has boost, misses the mid boost though. ShiftDrink, good touch around 1. No one to beat. Instead, the shot just goes into the front post where the defender was spawning. You feel like that was the moment for them to take advantage of. Instead, it's more of the same. This one, though, is going to be an awkward read. Who's going to be up for it? seandfeeney can't get there. Mortal Frenzy. Everyone's panicking, and still no one can score.
Pushed back out center. That's a deep redirect. Nerdy has to corral this into the corner. Iris looking back center. It's going to be popped up high. Mortal misses this touch. ShiftDrink has the opportunity. 35 seconds on the clock. They need a goal here to equalize, just to force an OT. The split 50 by Iris, though, putting it all the way across the pitch. ShiftDrink collects the 100, turns. It's going to be popped over. No, ShiftDrink with an incredible dive is able to keep this play out of their net and keep the dagger out of their goal.
One's going to go in the air. Mortal Frenzy just looking to delay time. Maybe get one for the road. Some insurance goal. Here's a counter attack. Double commit, though. That one, they could have used their numbers. Someone go for a bump there, maybe. This one will get an insurance goal from Pauly. And Eladrin, though it was closer, it was still really well managed to take game 2.
Oh, and how many times did we see Fingus no legs? They generated great offense. They got up pitch, and then it died. It couldn't make it past the last line of defense, whether it was a misplaced shot, a lack of a bump, lack of a demo. We've seen these players all season be able to generate a good bit of demos. I think seandfeeney had, 38 coming into tonight. Generally, it's a good play. Push forward, eliminate the goal keep, offer some kind of open shot opportunity. You got to get things going. And one shot is just not going to cut it against a team like Eladrin, who's rolling on all 4 cylinders right now.
And especially against a team like Eladrin, who's looking to try and push forward. And they're probably going to overextend with as many shots as they're getting. They're going to get frustrated if they can't score, and they're going to push too many people forward. So when they do have a counterattack, do Fingus no legs, they need to use their numbers advantage and get a demo on the last man, and then you have an easy counter. So that's the thing about these super aggressive teams like Eladrin, though they managed it well so far. They are probably going to leave their third man in awkward positions, and that's where Fingus no legs have to capitalize on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we saw last game. Somebody was actually had to spawn in to make the save. There was no back level defense. So hopefully going this game, maybe a bit more of a well-placed shot opportunity might open up some offense for them. But game 3 is underway. Pauly wins the kickoff. Mortal takes control. It's going to be a quick jab, a high touch. Pauly trying to elevate. Oh my goodness! Pauly, relax!
Yeah, Pauly is not letting Fingus no legs get a moment to think about anything they want to do, because he's up in the air, just already up before anyone even thinks about getting the clear away. And Eladrin are just stunning Fingus no legs into their own end. Pauly looking to play a pass. Mortal Frenzy. It works as a fake almost. NerdyGamer makes a heroic save. Mortal Frenzy still might get a goal from it. Oh, Pauly, a little bit too far, too ambitious there. This might be a way to punish them as seandfeeney passes it. Mortal Frenzy can't do any more. Iris, good touch. ShiftDrink is a little bit too far up. This could be a counter for Eladrin, in fact, and somehow it's saved away.
That one's up. seandfeeney's going to take a long touch here. Iris able to put it back into the corner. Mortal Frenzy waits. Iris is in a difficult spot here. ShiftDrink looking for the shot, but Mortal able to get back and now plays a bit of a controlled possession. Tries to push it up pitch. Off backboard. Iris can't elevate. ShiftDrink with a deep outlet. And brother, with a minute played, they do have their first shot on target. We definitely thought they had a good offensive opportunity, but they're going to have to figure out a way to slow down the offensive shot opportunities they're giving up to Eladrin.
Yeah, this is unbelievable offense. Look at Iris go. ShiftDrink has to exhaust a bit of half a tank of boost to get anything on that ball as he was directly under it. They're not relenting. That one was almost dunked home. They are just not giving them a moment to relax. a moment to control themselves because they are just harassing the net. They are continuing to put shot after shot on. Mortal Frenzy gets a 50 and will look to take control. XNerdyGamer will give the ball away. Who's going to be on it? Iris will take the light touch and pass it off to a teammate. Iris and Mortal up. Oh, that's a bit aggressive. ShiftDrink doesn't have boost. That would have been the time where, again, we say Eladrin have been overextending. That's a good bump. It's not going to bounce favorably, luckily, because Eladrin have been... I don't think they need any luck to go their way.
No, they do not right now. Not even a little. Iris splitting the 50. Nerdy trying to keep it up here. ShiftDrink, not a lot of beans. Wants a bit more of a touch there. A little bit meat on the ball. Pop up high. No, actually, Mortal's going to keep it low. Decides to follow. Gets the split 50. ShiftDrink already being challenged yet again. The bump pushes him out of play, and the hyperextension gives the opportunity to Fingus no legs. seandfeeney tries to collect. ShiftDrink stays with it, might be able to get a push back center, but has no beans, so it's going to be slowed down a fair bit. Deep outlet opportunity for Mortal. It's going to bounce up. No! Difficult spot by the goalkeeper. How does Nerdy get back to that?
Nerdy makes up for his own mistake there and gets back to a loose touch off the backboard. Somehow reads where Eladrin is going to place that shot, and luckily, XNerdyGamer has kept this to a 1-goal game. IrisReasoning, crossbar down. Pauly cuts rotation, trying to get that one to go. Instead, ShiftDrink should be able to clear it, but look at the boost totals. They are only able to use these long clears to get boosted up. They can't use them to counter because they're stuck in their end for so long. Mortal off the corner gets a little bit of help from Nerdy there. Pauly takes the boost, and this one won't lead to much. seandfeeney, that's a good clear. Iris is a little awkward. This one might go all the way in. No, it won't, and it's somehow cleared away.
Minute 08 left to be played. Fingus no legs has to have a mountain of pressure. They've already lost the first 2 games. Game 3 slowly slipping away from them, but with a minute left to be played, that's still a lot of Rocket League here. Mortal coming up sidewall. Nerdy tries to get it past one, does. Bit of a split 50. Pop back out center. ShiftDrink can put this on target. That might be dangerous. It is the goal, the equalizer, and we now sit 1-1. 46 seconds left to be played. And Taco, we finally see it. We see a well-placed deep shot from ShiftDrink that opens up the offense and potentially might put us in overtime.
Yeah, we've been talking about counterattacks, and there we finally see it, as a good pass from Nerdy led to a open shot that they did not take advantage of. Hold on. Oh, nearly Eladrin almost got one right back. Nerdy off the ceiling to seandfeeney. And this one's going to come off the wall. Plays down. ShiftDrink misses contact. And that's going to leave Iris to bang it. Nerdy, loose touch. A bump comes through and shot is just wide.
I really believe if Pauly puts that on target, especially with a well-placed bump, that's probably the dagger. ShiftDrink pops up for seandfeeney. That goes over the top. ShiftDrink splits the 50. Nerdy's in a very difficult situation. Decides to take the half volley high pop. Pauly quickly tries to get back down, tries to split the 50, but Nerdy's got it up for seandfeeney. Can seandfeeney get it on target? No! Iris is going to get the block, and we do have overtime here in Contender Game 3.
What a crucial block there to keep this level and bring us into overtime.
Bruh. No! What's going on? The hand of defense coming through from Eladrin to swat their own shots, not once, but twice.
Oh my god, all Pauly had to do was hit the open net on the first one and then not touch the ball on the second time around. Oh, I've said they haven't needed luck. Well, maybe they need a bit
just
of
a
luck
bit.
now
just
to reset them, because that was something to behold.
Dude, I cannot. I'm We are still in game 3 of Tendy, the most improbable situation. The fourth defender, the crossbar, swatting away Polly's shot. Iris somehow eliminates the improbable odds, the unfortunate gaffe in the rearview mirror. Taco, I'm fucking... Oh. I'm so shook, brother. Oh, God.
I don't know what I'm watching anymore. That it was going normally. Eladrin was beginning to dominate the game again, and then we just seen an absolute mess of an overtime. Luckily for Eladrin, they don't have to think about that one, because if they ended up losing that, I'm sure that would have tilted a couple of them.
Dude, God, crossbars, do they happen? All tiers. I mean, I put the amount of crossbars I put on shot every day. It's criminal. But the fact that one of them came out of their own net and Squishy saved a shot is so wild. To get back to it, Fingus no legs, it's a lot closer than the first two. I mean, the first one was horrific. Game 3, though, OT, much better improvement. A good chance in Game 4 to parlay that momentum swing and possibly take Game 4.
Yeah, there's certainly moments, as we've seen with the possible mortality of this team. They're not unstoppable, especially when they're saving their own shots from going in the net. But again, Fingus no legs are getting closer. They are limiting the chances that Eladrin are getting, and they're getting some counterattacks, some chances to go the other way. They just have to keep with it, and eventually they might be able to break down Eladrin completely. There's a big miss, but again, Polly, who's been all over the ball when not in that one overtime, to control this series completely. That's an awkward touch from XNerdyGamer. Polly's going to try and pass it down to a teammate, and it just goes a little bit wide of the post. Here could be a chance for Fingus to get into it. Oh, I thought they were going to get a big boost grab there. This one's a bit awkward. Nerdy gets challenged. Is anyone going to be back? They're bumping each other, and still they are able to stay composed. That one might just be on target. What a save from ShiftDrink to keep it out. XNerdyGamer stays composed, and we've talked about patience. There was a great example of it. Oh, never mind. They continue the pressure. You just can't even think for a second, because it's Mortal just grabs the boost, goes again, and no one in net has any boost to stop that one.
I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. As we look at these players, it's difficult for me not to consider Mortal Frenzy as the potential MVP of the night. The level that they've played at in just consistently attacking the ball, supporting their first man, playing an incredibly aggressive second, and it's paid off every step of the way. I have to consider what they're doing to be just that important here. Incredibly difficult spot here. Polly couldn't quite slot it in top right. If it was a little bit lower, that would have been insane touch. Oh my goodness, Nerdy looking for the controlled cook, and instead Mortal with a quick dive is going to put the Fingus no legs team on the back legs.
I thought they were about to own goal. That would have been even more unfortunate than the overtime shenanigans. But Polly now tries to pass it midfield. This one just goes high. Nerdy, good clear. Mortal Frenzy, who's been all over the ball on these strong clearances. Oh, there's a big double commit. If they can get this on target quick enough, this could be a goal. Instead, it's off the post. ShiftDrink can't find the angle. It's a little bit too tight of a shot to go in. XNerdyGamer towards the back post, and Mortal Frenzy, again, you've been talking about his impact, not just on the offensive end there. Shows the patience, composure, and gets the clear. But instead, this could be a counter. Mortal Frenzy doesn't have a lot of boost. Still gets a strong clearance instead.
Nerdy wants to keep this ball a pitch. Oh man, a mistouch! An unfortunate play. Nerdy, who just had it on target from deep, caught the goaltender in an awkward spot. Polly elevates, flips a little bit too early, and doesn't make contact, giving the equalizer. And Fingus no legs, now sitting at 1-1, have an opportunity to steal game 4 here. ShiftDrink pops up high, elevates, has control, looking for a following touch, but it's going to be pushed back into the corner by Iris, and in turn, with 2:40 left to be played here, Taco, there's still a lot of Rocket League in this game.
there is a lot to go, and it is still tied. So ShiftDrink, good pass off the ceiling. Iris didn't have boost. Good boost grab, but he doesn't miss, or he misses the touch on the follow. Trying to do two things at the same time is a little bit tough at this level, getting both boost and control of the ball. Polly gets a 50, goes out to Mortal Frenzy. Polly tried to look for a redirect. Instead, it's shut down. NerdyGamer, good pass. ShiftDrink coming in, and Iris read it entirely. Feeney tries to take the ball, but instead it goes out into the midfield. It spills out mid. Here comes Iris. Polly's shot is over ShiftDrink, who was running out of boost and running out of time to make the play. And Eladrin continue to push themselves towards the sweep.
What a good bit of redemption here. Polly able to get the goal and put away the distance that they had accidentally given up by a bit of a mistouch. We'll see here though. Polly unable to get back to the ball. Ooh, bit of a miscommunication, bit of a mistouch. It's going to be shot on target. Mortal yet again making a goal line stand to prevent the easy shot. Looking for Polly to turn. Misses the beans, collects the 100, dives back in, somehow gets back to seandfeeney, who's going to put a shot high and wide. Might have the follow. No, it's cleared away. Taco, minute 30. What is Fingus going to have to do here to snag game 4?
Well, we might get a response there, because that's exactly what they have to do, and it's score goals, in fact.
God, as soon as I said it and I saw him elevate, I was like, "Yep, that's the play. That's what works."
And you know, hitting it towards the backboard is a great option, because when you're defending, looking up, it's really difficult. So if you can just pepper that backboard and just bang the ball hard in the general direction of the net, that will do wonders for your team. Oh, that's a bad miss. Instead, Mortal's a little bit too close to the ball. Polly controls it, and it's saved away by ShiftDrink. Eladrin, though, taking control. Mortal taking a lot of time. That was maybe not the right idea, as Feeney is going to look for this. ShiftDrink up for NerdyGamer, looking to read this. No way! Oh, I thought he had the read, but Feeney comes in anyways and seals a potential game winner, but they have to hold on from this offense for 43 whole seconds.
Well, and this is probably the most shots we've seen in a Fingus No Legs. They have 9 already. They've held Eladrin to 10. A lot more equal than we've seen out of the first 3 games. But like you said, 43 seconds is a lot of time for Rocket League, especially when you have Eladrin shooting so often, so frequently, so criminally accurate. Mortal can't quite get to the ball here. It's going to be dropped down. Mortal and Iris both dive into it here. ShiftDrink turns, gets deleted from the pitch. Polly has control. Gets it past 1. Tries to elevate past 2. Can't quite get the touch, so Mortal is going to push this up pitch. Shift back into the corner. 10 seconds left. And Taco, this might wind down the series here.
Yeah, and that's not the touch they wanted. Mortal into the midfield. It's on 0. All they have to do is ground it. ShiftDrink. It's still in the air. Oh my goodness. Is this going to be heroics? Nerdy will hit the backboard and the ground. Fingus No Legs will take a consolation win and give them a little bit of hope going into the rest of the season, because that is going to be big for their playoff hopes and their potential to win their division.
Ooh, 3-1, an excellent performance, and I believe we will probably have, yes, production has reminded me, we will be having the interview with IrisReasoning, who actually just jumped into the waiting room. Iris, incredible game across the board. First off, congratulations on your 3-1 tonight. Mr. Taco, would you like to start us off with a great question here?
Sure. Iris, how were you able to keep up that offense? Because it looked like you three were just clicking on offense the whole game, and just keeping Fingus No Legs stuck in their half until that last game where they started to get a little bit into the series, you just had them pinned back and just relentless shot after shot. How do you guys keep that rotation and control over the game?
I mean, it's something we've been trying to work on ever since probably like third match day. Boss actually helped us out in a replay review, and he talked about midfield ball control, and that's really stuck with me. Our rotations were really good. We were all communicating. Everyone was doing their part. And honestly, they that last game, they really like flipped the roles on us. It was a really good game.
For sure, for sure. Well, hey, one thing that I kind of wanted to look at here. So, Polly, incredible goal scoring player, a lot of mechs, a lot of opportunity that they can give you. Uh, to see them get 4 assists through game 1 and to parlay their mechs into assists and team play as compared to scoring, what kind of confidence does that give you in your team for making a potential deep run?
I mean, it shows that everyone on our team can be flexible. Like normally I try to focus on assist. I normally help Polly Immortal score. But in that first game, Polly had like 5 assists. He was just doing his job. He was doing what he needed to do. He was playing his role good. I think we all did very good.
Speaking of Polly, I want to bring back to that
The
moment
greatest stage you've ever seen. Hey, you,
I just want to know
my,
what were the comms like in that moment because that was
I
chaotic.
screamed at him because if we lost that game, I was going to kill him.
Goodness gracious.
You could ask my team. As soon as I hit that shot, I was like, "Oh, that's in." Polly flies in from the backboard. You just hear Polly. But luckily, somehow, some way, we got the goal to cinch it.
For sure, for sure. Well, with my last question for the night. So, you guys played Immortal tonight, who actually had the least amount of games played for your team. What made you guys go with that selection and not with Shadow? And B, uh, we'll get to B in a second. We'll get to B in a second. What you got for A?
So Mortal is our fourth. Him and I have pretty good chemistry. And like you mentioned, he has the least matches amount of played. So we're trying to get him more exposure. And Shadow, I actually watched Fingus No Likes last match day. I was scouting them a little bit. And Shadow's our captain is very demo heavy, but we talked about and we didn't think it would be helpful as much as it would be against other teams. So we tried me Mortal Poly in the first game. We saw how that went and we just ran with it.
For sure, for sure. Well, part B though, just want to jump in. Sorry, Taco.
Sure.
So with running 4 players, what does that feel like for chemistry in terms of every night? Is it a bit awkward trying to figure out who's going to be the main 3, or does it give you guys a little bit of breathing room and knowing that hey, so and so's not playing well tonight, I can rotate them out and we'll get so and so back onto the pitch?
Yeah, I mean we all communicate very well. We're all normally playing before match days, as most teams are, and scrimming and everything. So we get an idea of how everyone's feeling that night, and we're all very good at taking each other's criticisms well. I think we all communicate very well without offending anybody. We can be very straightforward and talk to each other about what we're lacking. No one's taken sitting. No one has taken sitting hard. We all understand sometimes it's just not your night.
Absolutely, and that's really important for teams, especially going into the playoffs, getting these regular season games to give you the best seeding possible, especially when you have divisions and potential wildcard games in Contender. Will be interesting to watch. But thank you, Iris, for joining us. We will have to get going to this next series, but thank you for joining us and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Well, we are going to take a short break, and after this, we will be back for the next series.